And Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to DSG Talks. This is Aslan Sajjad Khan, and today we have a very special guest जिनके पीछे तकरीबन आप कह लेंगे सारी solar firms उनका time लेती हैं. He's been very kind enough कि उन्होंने आज हमें अपना time दिया and we are doing this session. So today we have Khawaja Munseb with us. माशाल्लाह इनका ओवरऑल रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी की फील्ड में मोर देन 8 years के एक्सपीरियंस है इन डिफरेंट एनर्जी सेक्टर्स और स्पेसिफिकली सोलर. और अगर आप उसको अलग से देखें तो ही इज माशाल्लाह सर्टिफाइड जर्मन, अमेरिकन एंड फ्रेंच सोलर इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट. और उसके बाद आप यू नेम इट पब्लिकेशन में, सर्टिफिकेशंस में आप नाम लें और उन्होंने वो की हुई है. तो विदाउट एनी फर्दर डिले हम ख्वाजा मनसब को सबसे पहले तो वेलकम करेंगे डीएसजी टॉक के सेशन में कि वो आए और थोड़ा सा हम उनको कहेंगे थोड़ा सा वो अपना ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन दें, जो वो चीज़ें जो हमें नहीं पता या मोस्टली लोगों को नहीं पता. सर, stage is yours. सबसे पहले तो welcome to DSG Talks.
Thank you. I'm honored to be a part of a very good initiative. और मुझे बल्कि खुशी होती है when I see such kind of initiatives जो DSG is leading right now. क्योंकि पर्सनली मल्टीनेशनल्स के साथ काम करके डिफरेंट कंट्रीज में काम करके जो मैंने एक डेफिसिट देखा था वो यही था कि पीपल आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजी रिफॉर्म्स एंड द बेस्ट इंजीनियरिंग प्रैक्टिसेस एंड व्हाट वेयर द क्वालिटी लाइज और हाउ द इक्वेशन बिटवीन द कैपेक्स एंड ओपेक्स इज ऑलवेज इक्वेटेड आउट. तो ये एक बहुत अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है. And I wish you all the good luck, and I'm very happy. I'm mostly following up your talks and sessions on the LinkedIn as well, and I hope you would be able to attain the market awareness that you intend to do. And being Huawei, I'm always available. Other than now, I'm also available to support you out to be the part of this noble cause as well.
That is so nice of you. We are honored for your kind words. सबसे पहले आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क यू वन थिंग कि सिंस हम लोग ये बात करते हैं कि इस रीजन में अगर हम स्पेसिफिकली बात करें तो रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी का बहुत बूम हो सकता है, हमारी इरेडियंस बहुत अच्छी है, लेकिन अगर इन रियलिटी देखें तो स्टिल वी आर लैकिंग किसी ना किसी चीज़ों में. तो आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क यू द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग कि हाउ वी कैन unveil that those prospects or those impacts कि जिसकी वजह से हमारी जो रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी जहाँ पे स्टक हुई है उसको हम टारगेट्स अपने अचीव कर सकें.
बिल्कुल, इट्स अ वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. देयर इज नो डाउट कि हमारे पास एक बहुत बड़ा मार्केट पोटेंशियल अवेलेबल है and we are lucky by Allah Almighty that we have a zone where we have the best irradiance around the world as well. But unfortunately, there are certain challenges that we need to cope up to bridge that gap. And I think that like we need to follow most of the European countries like they're doing. The first thing is that you have to ensure to the people and to the industrialists that solar is a very easy thing to buy on. You can do it by giving them interest-free loans on a low interest rate. You can also follow up the policies like most of the West follows, that is buy now and pay later. So you need to ensure that solar is not a luxury item. It's something that you can afford and it's easy to buy. So and you have to make it easy to buy. And then the second thing is you need to actually bring awareness to your customers, because what I foresee is that right now in Pakistan there is a certain class of the people, I would say, which is more than 50%, which still have doubt on the technology, that if the technology is worthwhile paying for, would it survive, would my capex would return. And because that's primarily because the people are not educated enough and they are not sure which quality, which standards they have to comply upon while buying any solar system. So the technical enablement and the awareness of the population is very vital to it. And then the third point is that most of the people in Pakistan are primarily only focused upon the capital investment. They're not aware that how this capital investment would return back to them. They're not able to compute out their return on investments, and then they're also not aware of that whether they should go for a system which is lower in the capex cost and what would be the opex cost. Most of the time what happens is that they opt for a low budget solution which is very minimum in the capex cost, but in the opex the system fails, and that ultimately develops a dilemma for them that the solar is a failed technology. So that is one of the factors where we need to work upon. We need to enforce quality products, quality workmanship, and we need to ensure systems which reduce your OPEX cost. and you can ultimately get the benefit of free energy after certain years when your return on investment comes back. So ये एक बहुत बड़ा element है.
Very well said. The one point which you have mentioned as well कि लोगों में भी awareness नहीं है. That is the main reason कि we do these sessions as well and different marketing campaigns to spread the awareness. क्योंकि जो आपने एक बात की है कि हम लोग capital investment को देखते हैं but we do not focus on the longer term benefits of the solar. आप initially उसमें देखते हैं कि since we are getting some discount या low rates, so let's go for it. But later on आपकी image उसमें खराब होती है.
Exactly.
Since the next question is my personal very favorite question. Since Huawei is working on artificial intelligence very aggressively, and since you being the leader of Huawei in Pakistan, so how you see that artificial intelligence has changed the overall impact of renewable energy, specifically if you talk about the smart inverters like Huawei and overall production of the system?
Acha, normally artificial intelligence is one of the division of the Huawei, which is globally very successful upon bridging the digital electronics with the artificial intelligence and developing machine learning algorithms. So Huawei was ultimately leading that part of the business group. What we decided at Huawei was to integrate that artificial intelligence within our inverters as well. And the primary objective was to ultimately get the most optimum solution, increase your yields, results, developing robust multi-MPPT algorithms where we can get the maximum yield out of it, and then use the similar kind of an artificial intelligence to ensure more robust safety mechanisms to the people. We are aware that in the Pakistani market, there's a trend like people have started following up that we want 600 and 650 watt PV modules, and you are shifting from 1000 volt DC system to 1500 volt DC systems. But yet again, nobody is focusing upon the higher the DC voltage is, the higher there is a safety risk, the fire has a risk, and all those things. But eventually, on the other hand, like you mentioned previously, people are really concerned about the capex, so they are not willing to pay for the right amount of the safety protections, switch gears, and breakers and SPDs. So we are compromising on that part as well. So what we decided at Huawei was to build in these features within the inverter, because we understand that thing that people are reluctant to go for it. So instead of buying that associated safety equipments, we use that artificial intelligence to get the arc fault control interceptors, AFCI, within the inverter itself. So normally you can control certain kind of the faults, but what happens is that हमारे यहाँ पे we totally rely on the human workmanships. So when you send the people to the field, लोग वहाँ पे जाते हैं, they can connect the connectors, cripple tools होता है, you can make errors. कोई connector loose रह जाता है, and you cannot identify it until unless the system performs for a month or so. Because after running up for 1 month or 2 months, you would eventually be able to see कि जो मेरे design parameters है उसके मुताबिक system की performance ratio meet नहीं हो रही, something is wrong in the field. So then you need a human people to intervene that. So with the help of our artificial intelligence mechanism, we have the IV cup diagnostics. तो वो जो पहले you need to wait for months, and you need to send out a couple of people into the field, और उन्होंने एक string check करनी होती थी, एक corrector check करना होता था. तो with Huawei, within a minute, you can get the whole analysis within just 2 minutes.
In just 2 minutes, बिल्कुल. और ये एक ऐसी चीज़ है कि IV curve diagnostic जो है, मतलब कि इसमें हम लोगों के लिए भी बहुत आसानी होगी. Even for the vendors who are using Huawei, we are very much thankful to them कि हम लोगों को बहुत से ऐसे errors होते हैं जो पहले नहीं पता चलते थे, but since with the latest technology हम लोगों को ये चीज़ आराम से पता चल जाती. Even from our control room कि अगर this is the error तो वो किस string में है और क्या चीज़ वो है. So मैं next आपसे पूछूंगा, since के इस particular region में, since अगर आप देखें कि चैलेंजेस के बारे में अगर हम बात करें, न्यू टेक्नोलॉजीज की इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के बारे में बात करें, तो वो आप क्या देखते हैं कि इस रीजन में और स्पेसिफिकली पाकिस्तान की सोलर मार्केट में लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजीज को इम्प्लीमेंट करना कितना मुश्किल है?
This is one of my pain point because being in Huawei, I struggled a lot with different policy making institutes like NEPRA, AEDB, and probably the energy departments as well. Now the problem is that जब आप इन लोगों के पास जाते हैं और इन लोगों को कुछ convince करते हैं with certain success stories and references from the West, for the European and the American countries, फिर वहाँ पे एक certain limitations आ जाती हैं इन इदारों की अपनी. उन सर्टन लिमिटेशंस में वन ऑफ द लिमिटेशन इज कि अगर आप कोई एक सर्टन फीचर दे रहे हैं तो दैट हैज टू बी अ मार्केट नॉर्म, एटलीस्ट मल्टीपल अदर ब्रांड शुड सपोर्ट दैट। अब प्रॉब्लम ये है, लाइक द रूट कॉज इज दैट कि पाकिस्तान की जो मार्केट है अनफॉर्चुनेटली दैट इज मोर इंक्लाइंड फॉर अ चीपर प्रोडक्ट विदाउट नोइंग कि मैं जो एडिशनल बेनिफिट्स या वो प्रोज दे रहा हूँ उसको मैं कैपेक्स में किस तरह कंप्यूट आउट करूंगा। तो हमारा इवेंचुअली एट हवावे जो हमारा विजन था दैट इज के लाइक आई मेंशन कि अब आप 1500 वोल्ट डीसी सिस्टम के ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं और हमारे यहाँ पे बदकिस्मती से ट्रेन्ड वर्कमैनशिप रिसोर्सेज भी नहीं है, हमारे यहाँ पे इदारे नहीं है जो सर्टिफिकेशंस कराएं। लाइक यू हैव सीन, मैं आई वाज इन द वेस्ट, अगर मैंने कोई काम करना होता था तो मैं प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट का भी काम नहीं कर सकता था जब तक मुझे सीपीएम नहीं मिलता था। मैं एनर्जी में काम नहीं कर सकता जब तक मैं सीएम ना हो जाऊं। मैं अमेरिका गया तो मैं जब तक नॉर्थ अमेरिकन बोर्ड से सर्टिफाइड एनर्जी प्रैक्टिशनर नहीं बना, मुझे उन्होंने एनर्जी में काम नहीं करने दिया। तो सर्टन चेक्स होते हैं एक कंट्री के पॉलिसी लेवल पे जो एक पॉपुलेशन को ड्राइव करते हैं कि दे शुड गेट द स्किल सेट सर्टिफाइड ट्रेनिंग्स। और उस केसेस पे फिर आप चाहे आप एक लो एंड बजट प्रोडक्ट लें या बाकी चीजें लें, उसमें वर्कमैनशिप के एरर्स को वो कवर अप हो जाते हैं, कोप अप हो जाते हैं और टेक्नोलॉजी सर्वाइव्स। हमारे यहाँ पे बदकिस्मती से वो पॉलिसी लेवल मेकिंग नहीं है, रादर एट द इंस्टीट्यूशंस एज वेल एज एट द पब्लिक मेकिंग पॉलिसी इंस्टीट्यूशंस एज वेल। तो हमने अब फिर अल्टीमेटली क्या होता है कि एक नॉर्म है कि जब आप ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस नहीं काम कर सकते देन यू रिप्लेस इट विद द आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस। सो दैट्स व्हाई वी स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ऑन द एआई and we built our inverters with the AI chipsets, and we come up with the smart inverters. So whatever the deficits was there, we tried to cope up with the artificial intelligence now.
That was a very very good initiative specifically for the people of Pakistan. Lately शायद हम लोगों को थोड़ा सा और इसके बारे में पता चलेगा कि how important it was to initiate that artificial intelligence technology in Pakistan. But currently we are trying our best to let you guys know कि what is it and उसके benefits क्या हैं आपके। So एक हर बंदे को ये एक होती है कि what is happening in Huawei, what is happening in the new technologies in Huawei. So I would like to take advantage of this moment and would like to ask you कि what actually is happening in Huawei और future में हम उसकी कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी या कौन सी कोई ऐसा एक पॉइंट आने वाला है कि हम लोग एकदम से देखेंगे कि वो ये भी आ गया।
Okay, so अगर Huawei के पर्सपेक्टिव से बात करें तो Huawei has emerged into a very bigger group. When I particularly talk about my business division, where I'm the country manager, previously solar PV fusion solar was one of the part of that business, but now it comes under a bigger umbrella, which is now the digital power business group. So the digital power business group is working on developing a huge ecosystem in which you're not only limited to the energy generation by greener means, but you're also developing the energy utilization which is also on the greener means. So it starts like the green input and the green output, and the whole agenda of that business division, we have our strategic target that is to attain the carbon neutrality for 170 plus countries where Huawei is present. So that is one of the targets to the digital power group, that we need to attain the carbon neutrality goal of the China and the different nations. And for that we are working on different portfolios, like solar is one part of it, which is intended to generate the power from the green means, whereas we are developing the data centers which are more energy efficient, where your energy utilization efficiency is far beyond what was in the past. We are developing the ecosystem for electric vehicles with the EV chargers and electric vehicle modules as well. And we are also working on the development of 4G and 5G technologies based upon one blade, one pole solution, which is more energy efficient as compared to what was used in the past. And then we have the DC AC rectifiers, and then we are supporting the whole backbone of the carrier EBG business group as well with the alternate energy means as well. So for Huawei, it's not just solar. It's a bigger vision where we intend to develop energy efficient generation means as well as utilization means, and to support the carbon neutrality aim.
Thank you very much. So basically a lot is happening in the Huawei group.
Yes.
So at the end मैं आपसे थोड़ा सा जरा पूछूंगा कि let's अगर हम इसको conclude करें इस session को, तो in the conclusion concluding remark, I would like to request you to please let the industrialist know जो कि हमारा ये show देख रहे हैं कि is it the right time to go for the solar and how important it is to go for the solar, specifically एक तो energy crisis के लिए related भी, और जो आपने एक बात की for the carbon emissions के लिए, तो उसमें अगर आप अपने end से एक message हमारे इस platform से दें तो please.
So first I would like to appreciate the DSG Energy here, like you guys are really pushing it out into the industrial market as well, and you have your targets to achieve 100 megawatt this year, and you're doing the tremendous job. And I'm happy to see such EPCs working in the Pakistan, which is very proactive to attain the sustainable goals and to be a part of that achievements as well. So for us, like what I personally feel is that first we need to kill out that particular dilemma where we are only going for a substandard product without knowing how sustainable the product is, and we are only focusing on the minimum capex cost. So for any renewable energy system, despite its solar, wind, biogas, whatever, the self-sustainability is the very first factor. So whenever you work, because I'm also an MBA, so I'll make it in a commercial sense. If you're investing some money, you particularly equate out your return on investment on that. But within that return on investment, if you're buying a substandard product, your return on investment would never come up because there is a continuous OPEX cost every year or after every 2 years or 3 years. So ultimately, what's happening is now a lot of EPCs in the industrial market, they are selling out the solutions at a very low cost while compromising on the balance of system and the components quality. And what are they doing? They're only giving you guarantees for 1 year or 2 years, or maybe they back it out with the bank guarantee and a performance guarantee for only 1 year. But the real problem starts after 3 years or 4 years. And by that time, the stake and the commercial liability of any EPC contractor is over. So the first thing is that people should educate themselves about the right quality goods, the right workmanship standards. We should follow the international standards like पूरी दुनिया में follow होते हैं. और मुझे लगता है कि इंडस्ट्रियल मार्केट वो मार्केट है जहाँ पे ये बहुत इजीली अडॉप्ट हो सकते हैं बिकॉज वी हैव द एजुकेटेड रिसोर्सेज. हर इंडस्ट्री में एक मैनेजर प्लांट होता है, एक यूटिलिटी मैनेजर होता है, एक जीएम इंजीनियरिंग होता है. दोज आर quite capable enough engineer people जो पढ़े लिखे इंसान हैं, and they can actually opt to go for these standardized products rather than letting the financial people to just take the decision based upon the finances. और ये बहुत important है. Like I give people example of what happened in Germany. Now they are all running on renewable and sustainable energy उनकी industries, and then you take China, and now you see that India is far beyond exceeding the Chinese people when it comes to the renewable applications as well. Because किसी भी industry के लिए आपकी end user product की cost तभी कम हो सकती है when your production cost is lower, and production cost में electricity का cost का एक बहुत बड़ा role है. So I think उस पे अगर हम काम करें तो we can eventually help Pakistan to grow as well. और उसके बाद now you see most of the textiles they have started following the trend of the LEED certifications because वो भी एक important element है. If you are getting your production done on green energy, you get better buyers in the West, and they actually pay you off for that as well. So मेरा ख्याल है this is a good trend, and people should follow it, ensuring that they know what product they're buying, and they should force EPCs to buy a good product and good standard workmanship and balance systems as well.
Very well said, very well said. So this is it. मतलब मैं इसमें इसी तरीके से करूँगा कि since आप लोगों के पास भी एक bundle of list होती है for EPC vendors, like Munseb has said, कि try to opt. Don't see the capital amount of the solar power plant, but rather than see the product and the workmanship of the EPC firm as well. Because बहुत से अब इस तरीके की इंसिडेंट्स भी हमारे सराउंडिंग्स में होते हैं कि हम लोग थोड़े से सस्ते के चक्कर में चले जाते हैं, बट लेटर हाफ में हम करते हैं. एंड लाइक ही सेड कि दिस इज़ द राइट टाइम टू गो फॉर द सोलर, स्पेशली for the industries as well, क्योंकि we have the resources, we have the manager plant, proper engineering departments है जो कि management को अपनी convince कर सकते हैं कि why we should go for the solar. So I would like to, in the end, I would like to thank you, Manseb,
so much.
once
Thank
again
you.
for your time and for this session. So
Thank you.
this is it for this episode. Inshallah, we'll come back with some new episodes.